Hello, everybody, and welcome to this stream. We are going to talk a little bit about the Full Stack Europe conference, and I have a special guest with me, Shruti Balasa. We will get to know her a little bit, and we'll also see a little bit of a demo that she's prepared. But before we head into that, let's talk a little bit about the conference itself. So, in case you don't know, together with my buddy Dries, I'm organizing the Full Stack Europe conference. And this year, due to the global state of the world and the pandemic, we don't do any in-person things, but we decided to do a collection of online workshops. So you can see our website at fullstackeurope.com, and you can see that we have a couple of workshops here. And one of the workshops here is Shruti's. And if everything is good, I have here Shruti with me. Good afternoon, Shruti. Welcome on the stream.
Good afternoon or good morning, right?
Yeah, it's a global stream, so everybody is like in their own time zone there. I highly appreciate you coming on for like a nice little chat. Um, let
Thank you
let's
for having me.
let's talk a little bit about you before heading into your demo. For me, it seems that you've been very active on YouTube the past year with a lot of content there, a lot of high quality content, I should say. Could you tell us a little bit about how you got started into web development and doing stuff on YouTube?
Yes, I have been a web developer for the last 9 to 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I started off almost as a full stack web developer. I was working with a startup, and I was the only one handling everything of end to end at the beginning. So everything, back end, front end, DevOps, all of it was handled by me. That was about for 5 to 6 years, and then I had to take a maternity break.
Mm-hmm.
While I was taking care of my son at home, I thought I have some time. Let me try and learn something.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I came across a Udemy course. I don't even remember what the topic was. I just started the course, and I felt this course could go on Udemy. I think I can do better than that. I can teach better than this definitely. And immediately I stopped the course, and my thoughts started going everywhere. Okay, what course do I start with? I anyway have all the time. I'm not taking up any projects. That's when I worked on my first course, HTML and CSS for absolute beginners.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't cover everything in the course. It's just the very basics. Even a 11-year-old or a 12-year-old can easily pick up and build an entire website. I put that up on Udemy with no audience, whatsoever before, no experience in course creation. The course is great, but I have no audience. Nobody
Yeah.
knows about this course, right? Nobody knows who I am, which is why it didn't sell well. And then I thought, okay, let that be as it is. I have a lot of tips and tricks to share what I've learned in the last 6 years. So why don't I share them on YouTube? So with
Mm-hmm.
zero expectations, I started last year. So it's exactly 1 year and 1 week since
Mm-hmm.
I started my YouTube channel. I put up my first video, just shared it among my friends, relatives, and on Twitter as well. Started posting videos, and slowly, organically, it started picking up. And then I came across Tailwind CSS. I think I was working with Tailwind a little before itself, and then I felt, why don't I, create some videos on Tailwind? Because since it's new, there are not that many videos also, especially when people were finding it difficult to install and set up with different environments. So I can do that. And that started going well. A lot of people received it well, and they started asking for more. I want to see how to develop a landing page with Tailwind CSS. I want to see how to set it up with React, with Angular, and things like that. I felt, okay, let me go ahead and create. And now, doing that little by little, one by one video, I think I have about 23 videos purely on Tailwind CSS.
Yeah.
So which has, it's all bits and pieces, setting up, responsiveness is one video, and customizing is another video, and it's almost like the entire course is up there, but all in different videos
Yeah.
and broken. But yeah, that all of that together got me around 4,500 subscribers today. So I'm pretty happy with how it's
That's
gone.
that's pretty nice. I once heard somebody say, I don't know who, so I can't give credit. That, yeah, if you want to, yeah, get something done and grow something, just start sharing stuff on the internet, and if it's good, people will just come. And it seems that, yeah, you're living proof of that. Just start sharing. It doesn't mean to be something that is mind blowing. It can be something like as easy as the basics of CSS. People need to learn that. And personally, I always especially like beginners content, because everybody assumes that you already can do this stuff, but there are so many newcomers in this industry that there's always an audience for those kind of subjects. So I think you picked it really really well there. There's maybe one question that I have. I saw that you also did an intern at worked as an intern at Microsoft. How was that like to be like in a big company?
But that was actually the turning point of my career.
Ah, that
It
was a turning
was in
point
my third
before.
year of,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes. I was in my third year of
Yeah. Okay,
in
that
my
was
third year of engineering, and then suddenly we had Microsoft coming to our campus
yeah,
to hire interns.
yeah,
I didn't think I was capable of clearing the technical round. Forget the interviews.
yeah,
I just gave it a shot because I felt my peers are way better than me. They always keep talking about the latest technology. They are already working on projects. I had no clue at
yeah,
that point of time, but when I went through, I given the I cleared the technical round. So many of my friends didn't. I cleared the interviews, and I was only among four people selected from the entire campus
yeah,
for the internship. So that gave me the confidence that okay, I do belong in tech. I
yeah,
have that capacity. It's just that I need to work on it. And then the whole Microsoft environment, the people there, the knowledgeable people there, and the culture, the environment, the campus. It was just brilliant. I decided this is where I belong.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is basically something from a previous life, and you're just doing your own thing now. Um, all right, let's talk a little bit about Tailwind itself. Do you remember when you first got into contact with Tailwind and what you thought of it? Because a lot of people think either like this is something very cool or either this is something very strange. How was that for you?
Yes. So I have worked with Bootstrap for quite a few years, maybe 3 to 4 years, and I've always felt the need to customize it a little. But when you go for customizing it, it's quite a pain.
Hmm.
Maybe not with the latest version, but with the version I used to work, maybe three and maybe Bootstrap version 3, I found it like I need some framework, but not so rigid. I want some customization, but also don't want to leave my HTML, and I want it to be much faster.
Yeah,
And I don't know, maybe on Twitter, somebody had shared about Tailwind CSS. I went directly into the website, and the very first landing page there, it shows you live, right? The GIF or the video.
yeah,
It's just like someone's typing in some classes, and everything is beautifully changing. I was, it's it. I decided that this is the framework for me. So that maybe that's how it happens. Like you said, either some people are totally into it or they completely hate it. Yes, it took me a while to feel okay with all those number of classes in HTML. Yes, it felt a little like okay, my HTML is not so neat. It's looking quite dirty or whatever. It did feel like that. It took some time, but I got over with it because I could see how quick it is. I could do something so much faster, and it made me a better designer.
hmm,
I felt I'm more of a backend person before I came across Tailwind, and now I feel CSS is much better, Tailwind CSS.
Yeah.
It's all about front end designing, UI, UX. I'm more focused on that these days because
Yeah.
of Tailwind CSS.
Yeah, I think for me it's about the same. The first time that I saw it, I really liked the idea. I also had been following Adam for quite some time, and I know that if he's enthusiastic about something, that it certainly there is a good angle there somewhere. What I personally like very much about Tailwind, across the projects that we do at our company, is that it's now a little bit of a standardized way of doing things. Previously, I didn't dare to touch the CSS because it was made by the designers and I didn't know their rules. And now I know because these classes are just standard classes. I know, like, okay, I can do this a little bit, can do this a little bit, and it's just more easy to customize a lot. So yeah, I identify as a back ender as well, not so much as a front ender. I think I really suck at styling, but with Tailwind, I can at least do a little bit, you know.
Yes, yes,
Okay, maybe let's go into the demo. You've prepared a little demo, right?
yes.
What are you going to show us?
Yeah, I'll first walk you through how the flow will be, or what are the things that I'll be covering in the workshop, and then towards the end, I'll try to, do something in 10 minutes, or maybe less than that, maybe six
Okay.
to eight minutes.
There's no time
What do
clock
you
here,
think?
so just take your time. This isn't LaraCon. You can just take as much
Yeah,
time as you need. So I'll share your screen now, right?
yeah, we can.
Here we go.
So is it visible?
Yep, you're ready to go.
Great. So, like you saw in the topic, in whatever Frick showed in the website, I'll be talking the whole workshop for our remote workshop will be about starting with Tailwind CSS for those developers who have minimal CSS knowledge. Like they know what is height, they know what is width, they know all the concepts, but they're not able to apply it really well to to make something really beautiful. This is mostly focused for backend developers or even those who are maybe just getting started and they feel they are not so good at creating something beautiful with CSS. Now, why Tailwind CSS? I think I already spoke a bit about it. It makes it really fast, and even you not being a great designer, you can create something that looks really great and that works well using Tailwind. Because when you're beginning, one of the things a lot of developers struggle with is choosing a color, choosing some color palette for your website. But Tailwind makes it so easy. You have only maybe 250 shades. You need pink, you need purple. Which shade of purple you need? Which shade of pink you need? Which shade of teal you need? That's all you need to decide. I mostly go with Tailwind colors if I'm building something new, and it looks beautiful all the time. It's really chosen well. Then, so what I'm going to do in the workshop is I will not start with installation because I have seen a lot of workshops start with installing something. I feel that takes a lot of time and takes away. You're very excited at the beginning of the workshop. I don't want to put that excitement into installing stuff. So I want to first make you experience it. I want you to experience Tailwind first, then your excitement level goes up a notch, and that's when you're really ready to take on installation, and in case something doesn't work you have enough motivation to still continue it further. So that's the first thing I make you experience how Tailwind will be for you, and you'll also start working on it before you install anything on your system, right, or in your project. Yeah, then comes installing and setting it up. And I'll also help you create a boilerplate for your next projects. So you don't have to go through the entire process every time. And then I'll also be talking about how to make it production ready. I'll talk about both the methods using JIT compiler, where your development code is same as almost same as the production code, I'll also be talking about the mode without JIT, where you develop with everything you have and then purge the CSS classes to make it production ready. I'll show you the size of the output file and everything. You'll be convinced because a lot of people say Tailwind, so heavy. Let's bust that myth right there. Then responsiveness, this is Tailwind makes it so easy to create responsive web pages and it follows the mobile first approach. I used to follow the desktop first approach before, but now I see the power in following mobile first and Tailwind has made it happen. Then we will be talking about Flex and Grid. If you already follow me on Twitter, you know that I'm coming up with an ebook on CSS Flex and Grid. Now, in this workshop, I'll include a part of it and talk about the utility classes specific to Flex and Grid in Tailwind CSS. And, it's like a vast ocean. I'll show you where exactly or what are the exact utility classes that you will really need for most of the layouts. Then dark mode, yes, we'll also touch about it and talk about how to introduce dark mode into your web pages with Tailwind CSS. And yes, customizing because no matter what, you will still need some amount of customization or a lot of customization while you're using Tailwind. And I'll show you exactly how to do that using the config file and using JIT mode, how you can use arbitrary values and things like that. So yeah, now is the time for the demo. Let's build a very quick dashboard. Of course, a very bare bones one, but still you'll see how fast it is. I'll show you what we're going to build. Let this open. Yeah, so something like this. The reason I decided dashboard as a demo was I thought a lot of people who will be interested in this workshop are the people mostly involved with backend and trying to build their own side projects or some SaaS application, but they need their front end to look at least good enough for somebody to, the back end is amazing, right? But somebody has to, they get attracted only if they see something beautiful, something pleasant, right? That's why I thought dashboard is usually, something that we all need in our side projects, SaaS applications especially. So this is something we're going to build using Tailwind Play. So play.tailwind CSS. Let me erase everything. I will choose the responsive mode here. Okay, something like this. And here, let's just start with, okay, I think I'll increase the font size. Yeah, this should be good for the stream. Right, is that font size okay, Trey?
Yep, that's perfectly readable. Perfect.
Great. So let me have a parent div first, and then let's have our sidebar here, which is the title says my app, and then the everything on the right side. Let's just say dashboard here, right? So we want the sidebar to be on the left and the dashboard to be on the right, like that, right? So what I do is I'm going to be using Flex here. So I'll just say flex and then I'll actually give it some width, right? So in Tailwind, you have a lot of options like you can say, so it doesn't suggest unless I add a space. So you can add any amount of width here. I will be adding something like 64. Okay. And also, and let me add the background color. So let's say BG blue 300. Okay, but we want this to occupy the full height. For that, let's add height, minimum height. So min height screen. So that takes care of that 100 viewport height for you. So you just say min height screen. Yeah, and that occupies the 100% height. And now let me obviously add some padding. So overall padding of let's say 12 or maybe just 8. So that takes care of the padding. I'll do the same here as well. So I'll say padding 8 And then here I want a gray background, so I'll say BG gray 100. Now, did you notice something? It's not stretching full width, right? That's because that's default in Flex. Things occupy only as much space as you need. So what we'll do is we'll use a simple Flex Grow. So Flex Grow 1, it sets it to 1 and that takes up the full space there. Now we have the simple looking sidebar and your main content here. Now, yes, this is not fixed, but this is just for demo purpose. Let's go with this now. And this I will be, adding within H2. Call it my app. You'll notice that H2 immediately doesn't make it bold and increase the font. So Tailwind resets all of this, and H2 is nothing but just plain text. You'll have to add your own classes, utility classes. I'll make this font bold and then maybe text 3XL. I'll do the same for the dashboard here. Okay, so we have something like this, right? And now let's have the side navigation bar. For that, let me add another div, or you can add nav. Let's add some margin top of maybe 12, and then we have our all these menu like or say dashboard, and then maybe settings and say users, analytics, right? So immediately you notice that they're all not spaced out. Now you can very easily do that in the parent element itself. You don't have to add margins within this. You can just say ul, I mean the class, something called as space utilities. So space x adds space in the x direction, but space y adds space in the y direction. So maybe add a space by 4. We might want to change this later. And then, yeah, then what we do is, yeah. So what I want is like you saw in the demo here, we would want rounded corners. I mean, only when it's selected, like when that particular item is hovered or maybe when it's active. So what we do is we need a padding for all of this, but again, we want them to be aligned exactly here. So what I do is I'll add a class to this. Let me call this menu. And then we'll be adding styles to all of this in the custom CSS file, right? So we don't want each LI item to have 4 to 5 classes. That's why we'll use the apply directive and do it. For that, we need to add this in a layer. Now, if I'm going too fast, obviously this is because it's a demo. In case you are not aware of Tailwind, don't worry. You will be able to understand every single thing by the end of 4 hours after the workshop. You will know what exactly this layer is and what exactly this apply directive is and everything. So now this menu is the UL. Now for I want to add styles to the each list item. So I'll say apply and then forget about the error on the right side. So I want a horizontal padding of maybe 6. That is, so if you see 6 here is, okay, it's not showing, but maybe that's, I think 1.5 REM. And then I want to add a vertical padding of say 1. And now to offset this, or I think px4 will be fine. To offset that, I'll add a negative margin to the UL itself. So that is done by minus mx4, right? So now this particular li has a little padding and the whole ul has negative margins, so it's aligned correctly. And now for this, let me add bg white. So you see that's what happens. but I want to reduce the spacing and increase the padding instead. Yeah, py3, that's fine. And let me add some rounded corners right here. To add full rounded corners, you just say rounded full. Yeah, so that's it. So we have this part looking exactly the way we want. The whole font looks too black. So let me add a font color to the entire div using text gray. So this is how you add shades. There are these many shades of gray available. Let me choose gray 800 so it's not too black. And so what next? Let's add this particular part here. So where it says hi Shruti. For that I need to pick up my photo. Let me Google it. Yeah, please ignore the other images. So copy image link and here, let's come here and this is probably you can call it header or something. It's fine. So let me add that image here and obviously limit the height. So I'll choose H8 maybe or H10. Yeah, that's good enough. And then let's make it rounded full so we get a circle. You see how easy it is. And then let let me add a margin top of say 6 or something here. And, and yeah, we also need the span tag here saying hi Shruti or hi whatever name. And let's make these two come in one line simply by using flex. And then let's push it to the complete right by using justify end. And let's center align them vertically by using items center. Okay, only one thing missing, that is the spacing between these two. You can again add a space x, sorry, space x 3 or 4. Yeah, and that should do. Right, so we have this. And what else? Yeah, so now come, we're going to create these three statistics divs right after this. So we have maybe 11,000. This again probably can be added into a para or even a span. Yeah, span would be better. 11,000 users. This is one div. And then we have some 3,400. So this is like total users this month, and then maybe some 36 or some number of countries. Okay. Uh, of course, now what we will do is we will make this appear in three different columns by using grid. So let's say grid, that sets the display to grid, and now we want three columns with same width. So we say grid calls 3. Okay, so we have three equal columns. Now if you want to see that, let me add some background color and some padding and everything. So let's say B4 and then BG, maybe green 400. Yeah, and some rounded corners. So you can say rounded LG. Then do the same thing for the other two divs, just that we're going to use maybe purple 400, yellow 400. Okay, you notice that there's no gap that can be quickly fixed using the gap utilities. Let's use gap 4 or gap 6 and some margin on the top. So let me add some margin on the top. Yeah, sorry. And now this needs to be on the next line. Let's add display block and then font bold and maybe text to Excel. Yeah, maybe the dash. Yeah, so this is perfect. Just copy it. Of course, you can now similarly you can add a class to this, extract it, and put it in this custom CSS if you don't want to repeat it. But if it's just three divs, it's totally okay to repeat as that's what I feel. So take this class, add it, yeah, add it here. Oh, sorry, and then add that here as well. That's it. So we have this simple looking dashboard, almost complete. Of course, I probably chose slightly darker shades. Let's also fix that. And that's it. And then you can have a beautiful table. Even that is very simple with Tailwind. This is the quick demo. I am done with it.
Very impressive, Shruti. Very impressive. It shows like the power of Tailwind there, and you clearly can wield it very well. And yeah, it's kind of amazing that you can just whip this up with some Tailwind knowledge in about, I think you've been busy for 10 minutes or something. Uh,
I
so,
don't know the time.
so it's really really cool, I think. Um, and I think if people don't know Tailwind yet, and you show them all of
Mhm.
this good stuff, I think they can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, after they've taken your workshop, right?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Very nice. So, Shruti, is there anything else that you'd like to plug now that we're here online? Maybe showcase the book or course that you are working on.
Oh yeah, sure. I'd love to do that. So this, what I just showed you, a simple grid and flex. This is just this is one example of flex where you use justify end, and this is one example of grid where you use three columns. Now we don't learn this way. We don't learn flex and grid this way, right? We instead learn what exactly justify content does, align items, align cells, and then we see all possible CSS classes that CSS properties that are there in Flex and Grid, but we don't see how they apply or where to apply them. And when you don't know the real application, you'll not be able to learn it well. You'll only feel overwhelmed by all that knowledge, and then when you actually trying to apply that building your own web page, you fail at it. That's why Flex and Grid are considered so complex. But in the upcoming book, which is going to be released on November 5th, I will be showing examples like this. So I'll just share a screenshot of this and I say this is where flex is used, and then I talk about the property. Then I say this is where justify end comes into picture. I talk about this and this I say this is where the grid can be used and things like that. So if you want to take a look at the oh sorry, I just yeah. So if you want to take a look at the sample, I also have the sample available here for free download. I haven't linked it here. Yeah, if you just search for Shruti Balasa, there is the sample ebook that you can download, 20 pages, that will give you an introduction of how exactly I teach the concepts here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to showcase my work here.
Very cool, very cool. And I know
And
that
yeah, there's a Tailwind CSS version for those of you who don't know. One with pure CSS, one with Tailwind CSS, and another one with like you get both the books
yeah,
for the
yeah,
higher.
yeah. Yeah, I'll be sure to pick up those myself as I need to sharpen my grid and flex skills myself too. So yeah, thanks for creating that, Shruti.
Thank you so much.
Um, okay, I think that's yeah all that we wanted to do in this stream. So Shruti, again, thanks for joining us here. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing yeah your workshop. I'm not going to see it the full time, but I'll be sure to peek in here and there to just see
Okay,
how it's going. Okay,
great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
cool, good, Shruti. Until the next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Now, to finish the stream, let me show you the website of Full Stack Europe one more time for those that have missed it. So Shruti is going to give a workshop, a 4 hours workshop on October the 22nd, and it's part of a couple of workshops that are organizing for Full Stack Europe. You can find our website at fullstackeurope.com, and there is also a link for this below the video. So that is all I have for you. I hoped you liked this little stream and that you enjoyed that demo of Shruti as much as I did. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.